Okay, some of the guys asked me to do a demonstration to show you how hard and how tough the fiberglass is. This is one of the sections I made without the flex additive in it. So this is, I'll give you a demonstration, 1 claw hammer. Okay, this is one no flex. I don't know if you can see the damage that did there. Chips all over the place, smashed it to bits. Okay. And this is one with the flex. One, and you can see that right now with flex. With flex. Not a single mark on it. That's what that's just a hammer, dirty mark. There you go. My neighbours have, I think, my right bump up hanging about there with that hammer. Okay, there you go. So that's it. Without flex additive in the fiberglass. Okay, smashed a bit so you can see it. With flex, not a single mark on it. So definitely well worth paying the £14 for a tin of flex. It's flexible additive. Okay. Okay, this is now time to cut out a tagger, fiberglass tagger. So this is what I normally do, is cut bits of cardboard out the size of the things I'm going to fit in, play about with it, find out where you're going to put them on the tagger. So MilesTag board, LCD, battery box, and the speaker at the far end. Okay, and once you've figured that out, then you can start deciding where you're going to put your buttonholes. Okay, so there's one here. So this is what I've prepared, just like in Blue Peter. Okay, this is one I've done. So I've actually drilled out all my holes, one for my reload. It's quite handy, so it's if you're holding the tagger, just press the button. Cut out for the LED, we've got a mode button, key lock button, and DC charger and speaker connection, drilled the holes for that. I've also nicked out a bit in the trigger bit there for to hold the trigger mechanism, and I'll show you that later on. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is start kitting this thing out with the rest of the stuff, including the main parts in. Here's one I've prepared, save a bit of time. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue this in. The battery box, just to be right on the top. Very good stuff. Your battery box, just hold it in the position where it's going. If you're doing a lip in your tagger, mine, just leave a gap at the top here so you can get your tagger, the other section of the tagger to slip into it. Once it's into position, just run a wee drop down each of the sides, just get a wee spread of it, finger. Run your finger down just to get a wee tidy, a wee bond to the fiberglass, quite good. Just need a lot. One more line down either side. Once that sets, it'll be really good. Same with your speaker, if you just want to run a wee drop out just round the edge, just on the cooler so it doesn't go actually onto the speaker face. Just to hold it in position. Take your speaker, my holes are all cut out there for my speaker. Just make sure my wires are going the right way. They're going to tuck down the side of that later on. So it's in position, just to run a wee drop out around the edge of it. Get a wee spread out. As I said, if any of your components break down, you can just cut this back out with a wee put a Stanley knife around it, and then you're about to put a new component in. But you can't do that with the hot glue because it's that hard. This stuff's really good. Okay, this is what I've done. So what I've done, I've glued in the speaker, glued it into place, battery box into place, LCD. These are these holders for tie wraps. I'm going to use that for to hold my MilesTag board in place, and a piece of metal, a hole in it to hold the trigger mechanism. Battery boxes, it's really depending on your actual tagger you can build. What you're building, what sort of battery box you're going to use. You can use the one, this one is a kind of standard one I think most people use, the 6 one. USB compact box. It could fit into like say their handles or into the other parts there. If you've not got much room, you could maybe go for a longer type one. The other thing about these, they kind of flex a wee bit, so you maybe have to put wrap it in duct tape once you're finished, just to stop the batteries flexing about. So that's the two main ones, everybody. I got this one in one of the British companies. It's a wee box, comes already pre-wired. Nice wee lid on it. Protect the batteries, so even if you got a leaking battery, it's not going to wear your gun. It's going to get in a nice wee box. These were about 46p each for a UK company. I'll give you a list later on. Speakers. This is the one I got for the MilesTag when I ordered the MilesTag System the first time. It's one of these square ones, 0.25 watts. I couldn't get these in the UK anywhere, so the only ones I could find are these kind of round ones, but they're slightly more power. It's a 0.5 one, these ones, so it's nearly double the actual power in the speaker. Great sound off of it. These came in about £1.50 for the same company I got the battery boxes. Really good value. So that's what I did with this one. The LCD, what I did was the stuff it comes when you get it from MilesTag, this kind of foam stuff. I just kind of wrapped it over the front of it, then I covered it in duct tape, then I just put it into position, then I just glued it in using the teaser that I'm using. It's quite fun. It's really solid. You'll never pull it back out, but it still allows you to cut it back out. This is these tie wrap holders. I've cut the foam backing off them and I've glued them into place with the glue that I'm using. That'll just allow me to just slide a tie wrap into them. If I can get it in one-handed here. We curving the end there. Okay, so once you put your MilesTag board in there, just tie wrap the thing into position, pull it down, lock it in, stops it from moving about. Before you do that, you could even cover it in duct tape and that, just to make it a bit more waterproof as well. It's easy to replace. Cut the tie wrap and pull the thing back off again if you have to get back into it again. These things cost about, you get about 20 for just over £1. Somewhere, you might get them even cheaper somewhere else. For the trigger, I've just used I got a bit of metal, drilled a hole through it to tape my trigger. The trigger that I'm using, I'm just going to use a square button like this one here. So watch it, I'll go through the hole here and just fit in there. So if you drill the hole in it first, then bend it up, then cut the thing into shape and just glue it back into position. Okay, cheap to do, and it's low maintenance. Okay, the next stage we have to do is start putting some of the wiring into place. So I've got one here, I've just like blue paper. Oh sorry, the glue I use, this is the glue I've been using. It's called Master Seal, a company in the UK called Wayside. It's what they use for sticking in the body kits in cars. It's really great stuff. It sticks to anything, and it's a great thing because I used the hot glue the last time, but I delaminated from the taggers after a wee bit of use. This stuff's really good. The best stuff I've ever used. Sticks to anything. That's absolutely brilliant with fibreglass. Once you've got it in, if you take the other side of your tagger as well, you've got to figure out where you're going to be putting, like say, your rail. Your rail's going to be fitting on the top of the tagger like this, and you need some way of fixing it down. I suppose you could use bolts and that, but it means it might be a bit awkward when you're joining the tagger together. So what I do is just screw it right through. I glue this plastic stuff in here. It's if you go anywhere they're building a new house, and this is the stuff that goes round the eaves of the building just below the roof level. It's a kind of hard plastic. But when you tap a screw into it, the screw goes into it, it doesn't split. You could even put it as close to the edge as possible, it still won't split. And once it goes in, it kind of tightens itself back up, shrink wraps back around the screw again, so it really gives it a really good hold. Costs nothing, you get it at a skip. So when you got the glue out, just glue this, when you're gluing your speaker and that in, just glue this one into position as well, just where you're going to put in your rail, okay? So that allows you just to screw right through everything when you're finished. The next section, okay, what I want to do is get some of the wiring in place. Okay, you can see here, so I've popped all my switches through here. I've got to show you some of the switches here. Okay, so this is one of the ones I'm going to use. So this is the trigger one I'm going to use. When I solder my wires on, I usually put a wee bit of shrink wrap over the top, because it saves you from actually shorting some of the stuff out when you're in the box working on it. Okay, so that's the trigger one, military button. Got a black one here for the reload. I got these in eBay, I think they were just over £2. And a green one for the reload instead of a red. I just want it just to suit them better by the Tiger. Okay, it's quite good buttons, really good quality. The tops are really solid, they won't pop off. I got this key switch. I got this one for China, a company called DH. I think they're wholesale suppliers or something. Really great quality. It's got even colour coded dots in it telling you what's on and what's off. The actual lock itself inside has got a spring mechanism in it, so when you actually put the key in, you can actually, it turns it itself, locks itself there and flips itself back again. So really good quality. But the only problem was I had to buy 20 of them, which I wasn't bothered about anyway, because I'm making 17 Tigers. So I bought the full 20, including delivery to the UK. I worked in about £1.50 per lock. So that's really good for a good quality lock, because over here they're averaging about £2.30, £2.75 for a decent one. So, a company called DH. I'm using for the LCDs. You can either use the metal type ones or these wee plastic ones. I'm just using the plastic ones here. What I normally do as well, once I've soldered my wire onto them, I just run a wee bit of shrink wrap over the top of them as well and just rub it down with the soldering iron just to shrink it back into place. Okay, cheap to do. The DC's charging point, I'm using these ones here. I don't know if you can see that right. It's the 2.5 ones. I've actually got these on my blog page if anybody's looking for them. I've got about 7 packs of 10 for £3 delivery in the UK. Can't remember what it is for the rest of the country. Same again, I kind of pre-wire them. What I usually do is actually put them in the Tiger and roughly work out where I'm going to be putting the stuff in, where the box is going to, battery box is going to be, where the PCB is going to be, and then I just solder all the wires in, so I've got all this already prepared, so it saves a bit of time. Instead of using the standard telephone cable connecting onto the Tiger, I'm going to use one of these DIN plug connectors. Just going to use the first four. It's a 5 one, but I'm just going to use the first 4. I'm going to fit that on the opposite side of the Tiger. I'll show you how this works later on.